Welcome to the mortal realm of Kahada. One that's neatly rested between the Hallows above and the circles below. Ever since the new gods displaced the old in Hallows above, sending them to the far lesser realm of circles below, they have squabbled. The one thing that they have in common is their ability to use the land of Kahada to their own purposes. Kahada is a lush, humid world. From coast to coast, its winters tame, its summers shaded by the tall masses of flora that thrive in even the driest of seasons. The ingredient that makes Kahada so rife with vegetation and life is the same ingredient that the gods rely on, mycelium. Mycelium are root-like structures of fungus that cover the land of Kahada like a circulatory system covers a person's body. Its filaments which extend to the tips of the highest mountain peak as well as the depths of the deepest ocean. So when the Hallows above wish to make a strike at the circles below, or vice versa as they're known to do, they will channel their arcane energy through Kahada's mycelium network, which acts as a sort of catalyst, exponentially increasing the arcane assault as it exits through the network and enters the realm of the intended target. If the network's structural integrity is ever compromised, the arcane energy traveling through it bursts out into the mortal realm, manifesting as any number of elemental mayhem. Nothing the people of Kahada are ever really keen on meeting. That's where the Patchers come in. Patchers not only inspect and repair the mycelium network, but they reinforce it. When a trained fungrel feeds a nexus with the blessed sap of the sun tree, a carbon-like sleeve begins to form around the roots, and it spreads to each hypha that it's connected to. This ensures that the network remains stable, and that the wrath of the gods is merely passing through. Our story begins in the small underground settlement known as Damp Digs.
I like the sound of that.
It is a series of caves and tunnels that the settling Galapa, which are humanoid turtles, this Galapa colony is carved out of the tufa limestone that hides beneath the dew-covered meadows above, transforming an otherwise dingy cave into a boundless mushroom farm. The lit torches make the dull grays and the yellows of the limestone glisten. The walls, the floor, even the large dining table, all of them take on this amber hue glow, which actually turns to make the rich greens and blues of the Galapa shells pop against the background. Among the many inhabitants of Damp Digs, there are 5 that stand out. And it's not just because their skin lacks the natural leathery texture of the Galapa, but because their faces also lack that sort of blissful blank smile that this particular group of Galapa have taken on. Their way of life has been that of a peaceful seclusion for decades, leaving these tortoise humanoids to bask, nurture, and age gracefully. 3 of our standout residents, plus a shorter Galapa to their side, are currently crouched in front of a locked gate located just east of the main and very modest banquet hall, staring through the bars to see a small collection of musical instruments: a lyre, a flute, a hurdy-gurdy, and a cowbell. The Galapa man in particular keeps checking over his shoulder and then turning back toward his giant companion, who seems to be reluctantly attempting to pick the lock and free the musical instruments from their prison. And then the Galapa will occasionally tap to his nearby conspirators, a Dracona and an Inferis, in anticipation.
Come on, Tykan, before Esther season locks him up for good. Personally, I think it was just a little extreme, locking him up in the first place. Everyone loved listening to Ali and me last night, especially Nellie. Maybe we'll finally get Serrecor to show us what he's made of.
This guy can jam hard. You can't lock up music, man.
Would you like to describe your characters?
Yes. Crouched by this gate, trying to pick this tiny, tiny lock compared to him is a gray giant made of stone. He is crouched. How high are the ceilings in this?
They have made them so that they are quite generous.
Oh, nice.
They're living quite luxuriously.
Okay, great. So I can stretch out. So yeah. Full height, I'm around 10 feet, and I'm covered in mossy, grassy hair, and have a tiny tree that's growing out of my right shoulder. I also have a bulge over my left eye, kind of like Quasimodo-like, and am focused very intently on trying to pick this tiny lock with very, very tiny little twigs that I've taken from the tree on my shoulder. Okay, yeah, I'll have these free in no time, for sure.
Go ahead, and while they describe their characters, make a finesse check for me, and hang on to that number. Serrecor, would you like to describe what you look like?
Sure. So I am roughly 7'9", tall, but I enjoy also being on all fours. I'm part Dracona, so and also a sorcerer filled with arcana. I enjoy seeing people, but not seeing people. More comfortable at a distance, as I'm skeptical of the world around me and the compatriots who I call friends. However, I do have orb, which tells me secrets 80% of the time. The truth, 20%, influencing me to make a bad decision. So, I must use all of the arcana and midnight within my body to make good, solid decisions amongst my team.
Solid decisions. I love it.
Even though I'm more of a distance, long distance friend. Pick the lock.
Got it.
So I'm Ali. I'm a Inferus. Ripped to shreds, red skin, long shaggy hair, and a couple of horns that just won't quit. I'm here to rock it, sock it, put it in the pocket, you know?
Whose pocket? Gotta find out.
My pocket, Absolutely. I'm here for the good times, but I lock in on the bad times.
I love it.
You gotta free the music, man.
Yep. I'm almost there.
Okay, so as you have your tools in the little lock, you hear a and the gate slowly opens.
There we go.
That's it, Tykan. That's it, big
Thanks.
boy.
Thanks.
All right.
Let's go.
Which ones are we taking?
All of them?
Gonna play them all at once?
No, but we're gonna make friends.
I love it.
All right. You see the Galapa slowly walk in.
I follow.
Chetney.
Yeah.
Name.
Neat. Okay. So there's gonna be a performance later?
Well, yeah, whenever Nellie comes by, yeah, we'll start striking up a tune. She likes things that are upbeat.
We're staying here longer?
We gotta stay for the party, man. It's gonna be righteous.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Love it.
Don't worry, you can work lights.
I would like the flute, as the sound travels a large distance, so I don't have to be near any one of you as I play.
I see the cowboy, I'm like, I think I know someone who's gonna like this. Pick it up gingerly.
Okay.
The hurdy-gurdy.
Great.
Okay.
As each of you reach for your respective instruments,
I'll take
you
one.
hear the sound of footsteps coming towards the locker. And as you turn to look, you see another older Galapa woman, arms crossed, staring at four who just got caught, stealing the instruments that she desperately wanted to keep locked up.
Oh, I see. I think I just heard someone volunteer to watch the little ones during their evening bask. Chetney. Well, yeah, but we wanted to play a song for Nellie first, and
I don't want to hear another note from anyone here. Last night was embarrassing enough. Get on out there. You see Chetney just take their instrument and put it in the corner. Start walking toward where the main banquet hall is. You see Esther watching you all.
They made me do it.
I actually believe that.
Yeah. Yep.
Go on, everyone. Supper's almost ready.
Okay. I'm gonna pocket this flute. I'm gonna rip a little twig off his shoulder, and I'm gonna put the flute back with the instruments. Or the twig with
In
the
place of the flute.
You successfully pocket.
Pocket
the flute.
I got flutes.
Great. It's okay. Oh, no, it's okay. Don't touch it.
As you all make your way slowly to the banquet hall, smelling the mushroom stew that you've probably eaten breakfast, lunch, and dinner since you have been staying at Damp Digs. So as the dinner hour approaches, the two other non-Galapas quickly emerge from a nearby tunnel which connects to the backmost chamber of this massive cave system. They are being pursued by a rambunctious collection of young Galapa, don't panic, they're babies, who have been trailing behind these two like ducklings behind their mother ever since they arrived. One of the young Galapa girls even is sporting this handmade hat that's woven from red vines with little white flowers kind of interspersed throughout. Looks a lot like a mushroom cap. She looks down at the fungrel literally, but up to them metaphorically. Caroline, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, well, howdy there. My name is Sprig Bottom, but y'all can call me Sprig for short. I'm just a little fun guy. I got a green mushroom top with white spots, and my body is small, but that's fine. I got a nice big old backpack that I got all the stuff I need in it. I just got some fresh bread rolls. I'm saving them for later. Oh, and also I got a friend with me here. This is Pearl. She's a beauty. She's a cow, and she's got gorgeous bangs and horns to match. Am I done talking?
The young Galapa girl in the mushroom cap, Tresha, she's slowly and enthusiastically petting, what was the cow's name again?
Pearl.
Pearl. How could I forget? Pearl, her amber fur just in all kinds of knots, tattered, needs a bath. And as she pets your little Pearl cow,
Did you see the way you connected to that chanterelle? Well, I guess you couldn't, but it was all like,
Yeah, it was all like,
yeah. But then you were all like, ugh.
yeah, and then it was all like,
Yeah, that was the coolest thing I have ever seen.
oh, Trisha, you honor me, thank you. If you ever want to learn how to deal with that, you can always ask your friend Sprig. I got you.
You gonna teach me how to talk to mushrooms?
I'll do my best.
Done.
right along, they shake hands. Right alongside her is the second of the two, and another Galapa coming on up to you. But this person is a fairy. Would you like to describe yourself?
I am Elion of the Winged Ladies of the Temple of Daphne, and we seek to bring love and health across the lands. But you can just call me Ella. So in Daggerheart, fairies are very insectoid. So Ella is very butterfly-like, specifically a rosy maple moth. So I guess we're a moth. But big pink furry wings with yellow spots on them and a big yellow ruff that kind of continues down into sort of like a dress, like clothing. And then her skin is also like a sort of soft pink, two fluffy antennae. One's a little shorter than the other. So she's 5 foot with the antennae, but 4 foot without.
Awesome. And next to you is another young Galapa boy, and he's kind of got his arms crossed, a little bit of a skeptical look on his face, but this kid has not left your side. And he looks up to you and he says, You're telling me that you've actually heard the voice of a god?
I am.
I don't buy it.
Oh yeah?
What's she sound like?
Beautiful.
Beautiful's not a sound.
Yeah, it is.
Do it. Yeah, alright, that sounds pretty nice actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then I want to just pick him up and fly like 3 feet in the air and kind of like drop him. You know what I mean? Like pick up and drop and pick up and drop.
Oh yeah,
They're scared at first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he hangs on tight and It seems like he's having a great time. As you do that, you hear the familiar footsteps of Esther as she draws closer. All right, everyone. Chetney's gonna take you all outside for your evening bask while the grown-ups eat. So step to it, little shells. You hear all their little individual feats. So just run down towards
See you later.
Goodbye. You're beautiful. Goodbye.
I love how you say that. That's so nice.
Oh, thank you.
Don't know what those little ones are gonna do once you leave. Come on, you must be starving after your work.
Oh, it's no problem.
Oh yeah, we love this kind of stuff. I mean, when you look at Ella, she can do no wrong.
Oh.
When she blesses that sap, ooh, it hits just right.
Oh, please, we couldn't do it without you.
Oh, I've been doing this for a long time.
We're so happy we could help.
Amazing.
Sorry, was I rambling again?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, thank you.
As everybody takes their seats, Esther quickly gets up, holding a giant glass of ale in her hand. All right, everyone. All right, I've got some words. Before our patches take off in the morning, I just wanted to share thanks on the behalf of all the Galapa on Damp Digs. The world out past our walls isn't the most welcoming at times. It's definitely not the simplest, certainly not the safest. But it could be a whole lot worse if it weren't for these folks here. After hearing the rumors of what happened at Dunta Gorge, it makes us remember what's important. And Dunta Gorge is an event that you all would know. Dunta Gorge is actually just north of you all. You guys are kind of here in this little foresty area that is Damp Digs. All of it is pretty subterranean though, so there's not a ton of evidence of a colony down below. So right here is where you are, and then up this little northern ravine, there's a little mountain pass. That's the gorge. So that is a location of another nexus. A couple of months back, there was actually a breach, which in the history of you all being patchers, especially the Fungrel, who's probably grown up with a lot of trained patchers in their time, it's extremely rare, and it was pretty devastating. And in fact, Dunta Gorge is kind of where you guys are going to be heading next. Like, as you're getting your itinerary for understanding what nexus needs to be addressed and what needs to be reinforced, it's kind of just like this cyclical thing where you keep going and checking in and checking in. So this was going to be the next one that you check in. Esther continues her speech. I remember the time my sweet Jerry and I, and at this you hear a collective moan from every single Galapa sitting at the table as though they have heard this story a million times. Hey! Patches haven't even heard it yet, so I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
You hear that? The Fungrel wants to hear it. Jerry, I would say. Jerry, why have I...
Oh.
Starting to look like rain out there.
My fault. Controlling water. Just...
Well, that'll teach Chetney stealing instruments. Now, as I was saying, Jerry, is there any... And at this, everybody kind of pauses to listen. The quality of that sound was not of thunder, but more of something that is coming from the chambers behind you all. You know what, Mikhail? Junior, why don't you catch up with Chetney? It sounds like he might need some extra hands out there. And then an enormous explosion happens from the back of the cave. The earth around you is trembling. The shelves carved into the limestone shake violently as ceramic vases and glass vials topple over and shatter against the floor. The first thing you see is Esther, who's caught the edges of the table with her hands to prevent herself from losing her footing. Her glance drifts from the table she's holding up to your eyes. You see her thoughts racing, her expressions changing from shock to recollections to pure dread. She turns her body to face a direction of the cave that you're very familiar with, and then the nexus. Your eyes follow her glance as you start putting the pieces together, and the unthinkable enters your mind. The nexus has failed, and there has been a breach. Everybody... out of the caves, now! And she starts getting up, and She starts heading towards the exits of the caves. The
Okay,
Galapa.
Alfred, stand up.
Let's go, Patron.
Alfred, stand up. Okay.
Oh no.
Yep, everybody,
That's
everybody
just
out.
something. I've never
to
seen
the
it.
exits. To the exits,
Elderly and
kids.
young,
All
first
right.
in line. Let's go.
You all do an amazing job helping these Galapa.
Get on, Pearl. She'll carry
All
you.
right, let's pick up the pace a little bit.
I'll go too. Yep.
I'm gonna help from the other side.
Same.
Yeah.
Sprig, we did everything right. What is going on?
Let me see if I can find out any information. Sprig runs over to the closest kind of nest of mushrooms and reaches their hand to connect to the mycelium system.
So as you kind of zone in, like you've done so many times before, where your consciousness kind of meets the consciousness of these mushrooms and this mycelium, and you reach out trying to get whatever you can, you feel the like, if mycelium had a pulse, you can feel the mushrooms and the mycelium that you're touching racing. But when it tries to extend out further to the nexus, you hear nothing.
It's cut off.
Yeah.
There's been a breach for sure. Ella, I say we get out now and we fix it later.
Okay.
We're gonna find another way into that nexus. All right, everybody out.
You actually see one of the Galapa rush over to their little flower bed that's got some of their mushrooms that are just about to be harvested. And you see them frantically trying to like salvage, like putting it in their shirts, putting it like anywhere that they can probably find.
You get out of here. I'll grab the rest of these. You go on.
You sure?
I got it.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna try to grab the soup.
Of course.
Is there like a cauldron?
Oh, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's say that when they were serving it, they just put like a whole big cauldron on it.
Exactly. Yeah. I see everyone is like running, so I'm like, okay.
Can I try and use my entangle spell to maybe slow some of the rocks from collapsing?
Yeah, I would say if you wanted to pick a selection of a wall that seems pretty compromised and just kind of create like this lattice of
Just
vines.
to help give time to the people running.
Yeah.
Hold your horses there, Wall.
Because I'm a distance player, I leave the cave without my team.
You see Serrecor running faster than every one of its.
They said everyone out.
Yeah,
We're the ones
exactly.
not listening.
I would like to cast Wall Walk, our lovely leader who said everybody out on the older end. She caught me stealing her. So I would like to bless her, anyone she likes, with the power to walk on said wall.
And you see Esther as she's trying to like make sure everybody's getting out. You see her climbing up on the walls, getting up onto the ceiling, kind of looking down afterwards and trying to just escort people as quickly as possible. And just as the nearest Galapa and Serrecor get near the tunnel, you hear another, and you see a massively scaly mound of a creature crash into the ceiling. Its gigantic body is wedged into the earth so that all you can make out is what you think is a thorax. Attached to it are these opal-colored wings that are iridescent as small rays of moonlight kind of peek down from where the hole in the ceiling is. The room freezes. The Galapa colony collectively holds their breath as their eyes dart from the now collapsed tunnel directly ahead of them to this dazed, house-sized insect that has just fallen into their home. And in that split second before fight or flight kicks in, two things occur. First, you see that one of the creature's wings is starting to tear from its body as its weight kind of sinks against the stone and the wing is jammed up going into the night air. So it's slowly just starting to rip from its torso. And then second, you hear one final as the last bits of the cave-in seem to kind of settle.
I want to leap over all the Galapas and land a hit.
You're going for it?
I'm going for it. So I've leaped over, do a twist in the air, land in front of the beast, and gonna try and go for a headshot with the 15 with hope.
15 with hope? 15 will miss.
No!
This is a tough one.
Thanks, Allie. And do you have anything healing that you might throw at it?
Do we want to heal it?
I think everything in nature deserves a chance, and well, it's not its fault that it breached the mycelium network, I think.
Okay, Sprig, it's getting harder to hear you as the rocks keep falling.
And I'm going to have the creature's daze kind of shake off.
Okay.
So it's now a little more conscious, no longer vulnerable, so no advantage on your rolls of attacks.
Oh no!
But the good news is, that's pretty much all it can do on this turn.
I look at the Galapagos, and I'm kind of hidden
You're
behind
holding their
little,
rails.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little enclave over there, and I'm gonna hide, and I'm gonna try to get them to come over to where I'm hiding.
Okay, I see it sort of start to shake off its haze. And I go, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And I want to cast Bolt Beacon. 18.
18 will hit.
Oh.
And what it makes them?
It makes it temporarily vulnerable, which means attacks have
Attacks will have advantage. Yeah.
I hoist up my sunflower and kind of like slam it down, and this like great big beam of sunlight goes and shoots forward and hits it right in the eye.
You slowly see like this little secretion of dew form right where the wing ripped off, and it's slowly starting to like turn into this mist that it is extending out from its body. Looks like it's trying to grow its wings back.
I'm gonna try to
Right.
tangle it so it's kind of like even more trapped in the ceiling.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so it can't like kind of drop down further into the room.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. Roll.
That's a 12 with hope.
12 misses, unfortunately. Its body like slowly starts to sink further in, and the vines just like can't get around him. Yeah, they can't quite get like the thickness to hold this massive creature up.
Where I was trying to get the fly to hold its horses, but it seems too tough for that. I should go back to walls.
Yeah, I want to spend hope to take it to the extreme, and
Take it to the extreme.
Okay, let me actually enable some flying here for the two of you. Like you're kind of like hoisting yourself onto its thorax a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing? What are you doing?
yeah. And from there, I'm gonna go. All right, down, big fella.
You just start hitting it.
Yeah.
Is that how you take it to the extreme?
The extreme is riding it.
Oh, the extreme. Oh, okay,
and
got
like,
it. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
try and see if like
I love that.
as it's wriggling, like riding it. I'm rodeo.
Yeah, you're rodeo.
I'm rodeo right now.
right,
okay.
And I'm gonna stay on this thing as long as possible.
Great. Go ahead
Yeah.
and roll for an attack.
So that is a 17 with fear, but I'm gonna mark 2 stress because of my fearless ability.
Oh, great.
from
Yeah.
Ferris, and make that into a hope.
Great. I love that. Okay, so 17 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
It's gonna be 7 damage.
Okay, that is another minor. And it sees this creature just start riding him. He's not gonna like that very much, so he's going to go ahead and make an attack against you. So give me 1 sec.
Try and hit me back here.
He's like,
All right.
This way is
That's
crazy.
a natural 1.
Oh! All right.
So
I'm
see
going
the battlefield again.
to peek out from my hidey hole.
Okay.
Look at the Galapagos and I'm like, okay, I've got the soup right here.
Deposit
You
the
stay
cauldron.
here with the soup.
Great.
I have to go do something.
You're about 60 feet from it at the moment. If you wanted to get within melee, I would just say make an agility check to see if you can do it quickly.
Okay. Okay, that is 8 with fear.
8. I'm gonna say as you kind of let's see,
oh, Tykan.
as you kind of like crawl around some of these structures here, I'll say you reach about 20 or so feet and you see some of these like scattered rocks and your foot just wedges right underneath one, stone against stone, and you go prone. So let me
I go prone.
Yeah, you're gonna go prone, buddy. I'm sorry.
Careful, Tykan, watch your feet.
I would say while you're prone, you can try to hide behind
Yeah.
Start try to play it off real cool and just be like, yeah,
like
that's what I
inching,
wanted
like-
to do. Just army crawl.
I like grab all the rocks that I saw and just like push them up against my face so it looked like a fallen boulder.
It missed that first time, but you're still riding him, so
You're
he's
still
gonna
going.
turn and look at you and try to like almost. Oh yeah, he's gonna try to like wriggle his body so that he slams you up against
Body
the
slamming.
earth.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
He's gonna
I would do
totally
the same
body slam.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, is 16 to hit.
Oof, 16 to hit? Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, great. It's a 23
Whoa.
damage.
Ooh, okay.
And that was a really low roll.
Huh?
I'll attack.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, let's find you on this map here.
16. 16 with fear.
So 16 will miss. Is there anything you want to do?
I'll mark it stressed and I'll add 2 to the roll result.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is your sorcery thing where
This
you
is
can add.
my sorcerer thing. Yeah, my sorcerer thing says I can add 2 to the action result to mark a stress.
So that's 18 to hit, and that will hit.
It's a 9
Nice.
on damage.
All right, that's another minor.
Let's try a tag team.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my 3 hope to
Great.
to do a tag team.
I love it. So it's kind of like you two combining forces to sort of have that extra bit of precision as you try to maybe just get that last shot off on this beast. Do you want to describe how you two are?
I think I'm trying to eye up for like another beam shot.
I think maybe my vines, because I think I'm gonna try to entangle.
I hear-
So maybe my vines like encircle your son to try and like damage it and entangle it.
Oh, thank you, Sprig. You want to send it? Let's send it. Ready?
You have all your advantage die and everything?
Yes. Let's
Okay.
go.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, but
So mine's a 22 with hope.
Okay, both of you go ahead and roll for damage and add those together.
13.
13 damage.
Damage?
Send it!
Why don't you guys describe how this creature has its final moments?
Yes!
Abby. Go ahead.
oh wait, okay, I'll say, Ella, do that magical weapon thing.
Okay.
And Sprig pulls back their arrow, which has now been entrenched in vines, and shoots it as it wraps around Ella's beam of light.
And I like kind of like the sunflower like flies from my hand and disappears for a moment and then reappears as you've swung the bug around.
I twist the bug around, and just as your beam and your webs hit it, vines hit it, I do a backflip off the. You know?
Is it dead?
Tykan, sweetie. It's all
Yeah,
done
you can
now.
get up, pal.
Walk over to Tykan and I'm like, hey, dude, you'll get him next time. This is why I don't fight with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tykan, you did great. Tykan.
I really didn't, but that's okay. Thank you.
Just remembering.
Hey, my pals, do you mind if I do something real quick? This creature, as we can ascertain to our best ability, came from a breach in our system. I have the ability as a fungrel to do a death connection.
Yeah.
While touching a corpse that died recently, you can mark a stress to extract one memory related to a specific emotion or sensation.
Okay.
Sprig will go over to the Gurglefly's body and rest their hands upon it.
Great. You sit and you wait. And you can feel this creature's spirit, if it has one, kind of like start to pass into another realm. And as it does, you see visions of what you imagine to be the Hallows above, these bright, glowing lights and these massive godlike figures. And you see its energies kind of getting channeled into the mycelium network. And as it kind of reaches where it should be propelling, kind of toward the circles below, you see and smell kind of like a burn, but not a fire, of just like a white, hot energy, almost like lightning, before it emanates into the cave where the nexus is.
Ooh, this poor creature was meant for something more.
As you all kind of get settled, you hear a couple of footsteps all the way above you, kind of where the hole is, and you see one little long galapa neck kind of peer out, and it's Chetney.
Oh.
And you can assume that he's kept the children at a safe distance, but having heard maybe some calmer sounds come from the opening of the cave.
Chetney, it's okay.
Jenny, you keeping those young Groms okay?
Yeah, they're all right up here. How you guys doing?
We're okay. It's okay.
Hey, is Nellie down there by any chance?
You saw her last.
Hey.
You see Nellie, she's actually the one galapa that tried to kind of like crawl back into that smaller tunnel back the way you guys came.
Hey, pal, do you like this gal Nellie over here?
Well, it's like
It's just that you keep talking about her and you like want to play music for her. I'm just like taking a gander at it.
Yeah, do we want to make this connection happen?
I mean, if Nellie says she is interested, then yeah, maybe I'd be interested as well. But guys, what does she look like? Does she look happy?
And you see Nellie kind of poke her head out.
I would like to pull the flute out and play a love serenade between the two of them. Can I roll for
What?
Yeah, I'm playing a serenade.
I would say go ahead and make a presence check and see how good this tune is that you're throwing down.
Yeah. Boy.
Mark stress.
Oh my god. I got 11 with fear.
Hey, these Galapa are very simple creatures, so despite rolling with fear, maybe hitting a couple of rough notes throughout the...
It's the instrument. It's not in good shape. The instrument. The flute's not.
Oh yeah, it's always the instrument.
It's that storage situation.
You just see kind of like this mist form around their eyes, the two of them, as they feel the emotion of the moment. And you hear Nellie go,
What you doing later, Chetney? Yes. Oh, I don't know.
You see Chetney kind of like start to climb down the hole, like kind of finding his places and safely trying to reach the base. And he comes over to Nellie. Just gives her a big hug. Yeah, Esther kind of joins you all now that everything has kind of come to a calm. Do you have any idea what that could have been?
We did everything right. I know you blessed that sap like no one ever could. Thank you.
Well, why don't we collect our things, mend our wounds, and maybe we can go and try and check it out.
I think I'm worried that it feels like these surges are getting bigger coming through. If it was able to burst through something that we just patched up, that's not very good.
And there was that recent breach across at the gorge. So
That's true.
Well, I think if we check it out and everything looks like it wasn't meddled with or anything, then maybe you're right.
Can we go?
All right.
Tykan, it'll be okay. Sometimes you gotta stick around and help people.
But if you guys did everything you could do, what more can we do?
He's with me.
We just want to make sure that we did everything we were supposed to.
You see, as patchers, it is our job to make sure we patch it up.
Yes, at the very least, if our network is compromised, having patches already here is pretty beneficial. You guys watch as Esther uses her crazy Galapa tortoise strength to kind of help herself traverse through some of these craggier areas that are now damp digs. Its smooth, like chiseled limestone surfaces are now kind of cracked in certain places, piles up along the hallways of this once beautiful structure. Some of the mushrooms remain, some are slowly tumbling down, mushroom caps kind of twisting and twirling as they settle on the floor. Yeah?
We're slowly picking our way through.
Yeah.
As the other Galapa sit and enjoy their stew.
Yeah. I look back forlornly.
You never even got a bite before it collapsed.
That was me.
So you enter the chamber, and your eyes skim over what is now a pretty familiar sight, unfortunately. Rocks, soil, debris, coating this floor. Maybe you spot a couple more wings. The limestone the size of Tykan's heavy fists have actually fallen and shaken loose most of the soil and compost that has covered the mycelium like a warm little blanket. The torches have all been extinguished as they lay kind of uselessly on the moist earth below. And as a lone cloud drifts past the moon, you all take a collective breath and sigh of relief, for you're able to see that the areas where the larger slabs have fallen onto this mycelium, the rocks have actually been the force that gives way, kind of splitting in half as it tries to hit against this reinforced mycelium, this carbon-like sleeve that has kept this more organic structure intact. That's the strength that you guys have created for this organism.
I think I want to go and check that spot.
Yeah,
like the center of it. Yeah.
So you two go and head over to there. Is there any other spots that you guys are going before we cut over to Sprig and Ella?
There's the hole, right?
There's a giant hole in the ceiling.
Okay. Could I use my grappling hook to try to climb up and see what's up there?
Yeah, absolutely you can. Anything else you guys want to do before we cut to whatever's happening over there?
You don't even need
No,
to.
we don't have to cut over there. No. They'll just do their thing.
I want to do a check for the structural integrity
Sure.
of
Yeah.
the space.
Yeah. Any particular way that you want to do that? Just kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna parole the border. You know.
Yeah, totally. Okay, anything
I'll
else?
use some arcane sense to see if there's any magical presence around us.
Very cool.
Any magical people or objects.
Great.
close to us.
All right, so we'll start really quickly with the two of you. You come up closer to the Nexus. Do you reach out to it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so take a breath. You reach out toward one of these chanterelles. These mushrooms are kind of like funnily shaped. They all start at one little spot and then sort of their roots curve out and in, creating these funnels and then end in this like yellow, sort of like umbrella top. They're very cute. So you reach out to this chanterella, which is actually kind of close to the size of you. They're very large,
Whoa.
very rich beings.
2 feet.
You about to say what's up?
That's my family right there. That's fam.
Great, so you reach out, and you take a breath, and then for a split second as you're waiting, you feel that familiar sensation, almost like somebody's pulling at the back of your neck, like you're spreading out almost, where you kind of finally make contact with the mycelium. And it flows, and you gush through it, and you pass through all of the different hyphae, and you reach out to try to get a sense if there's any structural misalignments, anything that you can find that would signify what went wrong. And the strange thing is, structurally, the network is perfect. There's no severed roots, no gaps in the carbon-like barrier. The one thing I'll say that you did feel actually is very similar to what the gurglefly kind of projected onto you when you tried to get that last memory before it passed. That feeling of kind of just pure heat and electricity, and that smell too, just like a fast and quick implosion. So that mycelium is kind of feeling similar to what the gurglefly was feeling as well.
Okay, can I, having this kind of feeling in mind, Sprig turns to Ella. Ella, if I were to explain to you a sensation, do you think as like a kind of magical being you could see if it is related at all to magic of any kind? It seems like there was, a feeling of like heat, like white hot lightning heat. And I think that might have been the reason why this thing split and we got some monsters coming out of there.
Perhaps a surge that was bigger than normal through the Nexus. But why did it break?
Do you think it could have been an outside force?
Like someone sabotaged it?
As you both are looking at the chanterelle and you're having that conversation, Ella, you are looking over the chanterelles, just trying to find any evidence of maybe an outside force having some impact here. And just at the base of this root system, before it dives into the soil and becomes the mycelium, you see what almost looks like lightning struck. Like these craggled out like veins, just these lines coming from a single center point where a large amount of energy is hit. It looks a little bit like a lightning strike.
Sprig,
Uh-huh.
look. Give me your hand.
Wait, do you think, Serrecor, with your magical eyes, could you help us
I
inspect?
don't get close to you.
Okay, from far away.
I shall look
Can you
from
take
over
a
here.
look?
I'm holding your hand in spirit. Okay, so right here at the base, do you see that point? It's like it's been cracked and hit by some big energy. Oh, it's very negative energy.
Based on that, you can tell that there's remnants of like lightning magic. And I would say, go ahead and make a knowledge check for me.
Yeah, sick.
We're hot and down.
Hey!
18 with hope.
I will say,
Right.
with your goggles on, your laser focus, you see remnants of almost like a. How do I want to describe this?
I'll
A little bit of
18.
a
Getting the
little
hang of
bit
this.
of like a melted glass. And I would say, you know, as a spellcaster yourself, that there's ways to sort of contain elements, magical elements, into smaller forms where they can be triggered. Allie,
Yeah.
while you're kind of knocking on some of the rocks and inspecting the outer perimeter of this chamber, I'll say, since you're taking a very close look at the earth around you, underneath one of the larger pieces of limestone that had fallen, you spot a little tiny piece of paper that's a little soiled from being, again, in that like damp earth that all of the mycelium is kind of blanketed in, but it's kind of pinned and sticking out from under a rock.
Can I lift the rock up
You absolutely can.
and pull out that piece of paper?
Oh.
Physical!
Props, there's a piece of paper for you. If you wish to
Oh.
read it out loud, you can, but whatever you want.
I hope you make good use of my gifts. You'll have to come back when my mother makes her famous stew. She uses full body mushrooms from damp digs. Be sure to do it with a smile. And that's from B to F.
Say that again.
I hope you make good use of my gifts. You'll have to come back when my mother makes her famous stew. She uses full body mushrooms from damp digs. Be sure to do it with a smile.
Do it.
B.
I don't have
Y'all
any
have
F or B
fun.
names in my notes.
Do you share that with the group?
Yeah. F and B.
Tykan, as you're sort of climbing your grappling hook, you stop. Hearing those words just triggers a memory back in the jagged woods. Back when you lived amongst other giants and shared the jagged woods with a group of thieves. And it sounds like it could be Thieves' Cant. Now, you rolled well. You rolled with fear. I have 3 Thieves' Cant translation cards, and you get to pick 2 of them.
Oh! This is very exciting.
Pick 2 of them.
Whoa.
That's the one you're putting away?
Yes, the runner.
Okay, you can go ahead and
Yes.
I will say, yeah, you remember what
Mother's
those phrases
stew.
signify.
Mother's stew.
Mother's stew.
Guys, wait.
Careful now, take your time. Take your time. Slow down. Oh.
Okay, wait. Full body is sabotage. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. This is all coming back to me. Whenever the thieves were around in the woods, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you guys like that full body fungus that grows in the tree?" And I'd be like, "No, they're gonna rob from people again." And then,
Robb?
with a smile, look like an accident. Be sure to do it with a smile. Make sure to look. Yeah. Oh no.
So you're telling me this is not about soup?
I wish I could tell you it was about soup.
Dang.
I wish. I really wish.
We got you over that.
Oh no.
Someone purposely broke the beautiful nexus? These beautiful mushrooms?
Now, why would someone go and do that?
I'll say Esther hears the collective gasp from Ella and Sprig. What did you find?
I look at the group.
Read it with the translation.
No.
We found this note. And it looks like it's about soup, but it's not.
It's actually not about soup.
It's about.
What do you mean it's about soup, but it's not?
It's about. So they're using a thing called Thieves' Cant. It's a secret.
Thieves can't what?
Thieves can't speak plainly.
Much needed levity. Thank you, Sprig. I needed that loud.
Sorry, I've been waiting on that.
Sprig, this is so serious.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, back to why my home is destroyed, please.
Yeah. So it looks like someone messed this up on purpose.
So
Yeah.
what does it say exactly?
Okay.
You're translating. You know the language that these people are speaking.
I guess translating it says, I hope you make good use of my gifts. You'll have to come back when my mother makes her famous stew. She uses sabotage mushrooms from damp digs. Be sure to look like an accident. Do it looking like an accident. Yeah.
Someone sabotaged the mushrooms at Deep Digs and made it look like an accident.
Yeah.
Have there been any other outsiders through here other than us?
Yeah, maybe somebody who, can wield lightning magic or some sort?
If you go up past the mountains and then back down, there's a bandit camp, and when they sort of go on their excursions and they come back through our way, they'll come in and try to steal some of our mushrooms, just forage some of for their stores, I suppose. But, we're not really meant to combat those types of people. We usually just kind of let them come and go and haven't really tried to do anything about it.
Is there someone who would pay a bandit to destroy the mycelium? That seems very dangerous to me.
Is there someone, perhaps, that's a Galapa that could be giving them access to your cave, your home?
I guess anything's possible, but that would be truly surprising to me. We're kind folk, we stick together.
What was your last interaction, or a Galapa person's interaction with these bandits?
She thinks for a second, and possibly a couple weeks back, maybe months. It's kind of actually right around the time that the Dunta Gorge incident occurred, now that I'm thinking about it.
Is there anybody here with the name that starts with the letter F, perchance?
Or B?
Well, there's Frank, but...
Frank.
Now, does
Oh,
Frank...
God. No, please don't go after Frank.
Knives.
I'm gonna cast.
My cousin.
Show us, Frank.
We all nod silently. You leave.
Now, my
Trying
friends,
to destroy Frank.
I seem to be at a loss because this mycelium network, it makes sure we all live in happiness and fruitfulness on this earth. It keeps us all running, not just my fungrel and ourselves. It seems like whoever decided to do this has some kind of evil plan, or because that creature that we just fought was meant to go below. It was coming from up above, and it was meant to go below, and someone wanted to stop it. So who would want to stop it from reaching below?
You think someone's trying to prevent attacks from reaching their intended destination, or they're trying to bring things to our plane?
Maybe a little bit of both.
We're cooking now.
And not just mushroom soup, all right?
Because again, it's not about
Mom?
the soup.
It's not about soup.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Stop the attack, bring more chaos to our plane.
So people want to see more of these creatures, the one that you just destroyed, on our plane. That's what you're trying to say.
I mean, maybe this attack is related to the attack at the gorge.
Have you all been to the gorge since it had its incident? We haven't heard anything from anybody in that area.
We were just about to head there, check it out.
But if it's bandits, I mean, growing up around them, they wouldn't do this thing unless they think they can make a profit off of it. So that's what's weird about it.
What
for
I'm
me.
wondering, who paid them if somebody paid one of the bandits?
I guess so.
Yeah.
So you say we go to this bandit
I
camp?
say we go to the bandit camp. Stop the problem at its source.
I appreciate your heroism in trying to infiltrate a bandit camp and question them. I hope you have some infiltration capabilities because they are large in number. We try not to make any fuss with them because of that.
Well, I'm large,
You are quite
not in number, but yeah, I don't know. I have some connections, so maybe it won't be so bad.
You have connections to a thieves guild.
I'm not supposed to talk about it, but yeah. Yeah.
Twist my arm.
And would you have any more of an understanding about why they're trying to do this?
Oh, no, not at all. No. Yeah, they might not even be the Thieves Guild that I know. I know there's one they pass themselves off as artists.
At that you get a confused, kind of glare
Don't
from Esther.
worry about it.
It's a different one, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. If they're stealing mushrooms, it's probably not them.
Sprig, you want to give Mushtown a ring, let them know what the sitch is?
Absolutely, Allie. I'd love to do that. Thank you so much for that brilliant idea. Y'all, you're all so smart. Thank you. Okay.
Sprig, we should probably also repatch this one.
Absolutely. You are so right.
Like, I guess we could start clearing some of the rocks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewire some. There's a bunch of water channels that were destroyed.
So you're gonna use like your actual,
My actual-
your like dragon's breath of water.
Yes, elemental breath.
Yeah, I love that. At a certain point, you grow tired of Galapa being.
Oh, could you water mine, please? Could you? Can you get a little bit of water on the?
I'm lifting rubble, pushing it to the side. And then I think I am like passing by the area with those caged instruments again.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to pick the locker.
Yeah.
Oh wow! That's my best roll ever. Great. I grabbed the cowbell.
Amazing. Great.
And then which one did you pick up?
The lyre. Yeah.
Oh, it's so small in your hand. It's a normal lyre.
And then I go back to putting rocks back.
So we've got like a nice, like, beautiful jug of like vaguely glowy, like soft glowy sap. I think definitely like taking some of it and like doing like a smear across the wound, and then Sprig.
Oh yeah?
You're so beautiful. You're so good at what you do.
Oh,
Everything you do is beautiful.
well, thank you so much, darling. I think you are just wonderful and lovely like a peach. All right. Sprig is gonna like lick their finger and like scooch, like smudge off the remnants of the attack, just to kind of leave it clean.
The mycelium network heals extraordinarily fast, and any communication, albeit how far, is going to have a successful connection.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So we should make the call. Finally.
Come in, Mushdown.
With one hand on the mushrooms and one hand, just kidding. I'm sorry.
Describe Mushtown for me. Not that we'll be seeing it in there, but describe it for me.
Mushtown is a quaint little village full of sweet fungal families and friends. They've built their homes shaped like classic red and white topped mushroom caps, classic. And yeah, it's just like it's a very homey space, and I believe a lot of kind of fungal are travelers and nomads, but this is a place that people can call home if they're ready to, put down their packs and rest. Excuse me, my friends there at Mushtown. Is anyone there?
Oh, hey, buddy, how's it going?
Oh, my friend.
Is this Sprig?
Oh, yeah, of course it is, Jeremiah.
It's always so good to hear from you, Sprig. Yeah, how are those damn digs doing?
Well, they have been better. Unfortunately, we have suffered a breach. And it seems like it was someone on the outside doing the breach, and someone with maybe malintent, if I may say. And I did say.
Sprig, is this not one of those prank calls that you like to do? Because you really shouldn't be introducing yourself before you do it.
No, sorry.
Is that Jeremiah?
Yeah, Tykan, it's Jeremiah, Tykan and I are sorry about that one time that we said that the refrigerator was running. You better catch it.
Yeah, I actually went and ran after my refrigerator, and it was still just where it was.
And boy, howdy, do you run fast, Jeremiah. No one runs faster than you, my friend.
I got these tiny legs, but they are speedy.
They take you far.
No, this is not a prank call.
No, absolutely not. I think we need to be careful because I do have reason to suspect that the breach that happened in the gorge may have been related to this breach that has just happened. And we have proof that there may have been some outside forces looking to sabotage and make it look like an accident so nobody knew it was sabotage.
Is that Jeremiah?
Jeremiah.
Yes, Serrecor, it's Jeremiah.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can?
No, Serrecor, no!
Is that Serrecor out there?
Yeah, everyone's here, Jeremiah. We all sang your praises, all right?
Okay.
You're just wonderful.
We tell him that I'm kind of processing some bad news, but that was a pretty good one there. I saw where he was going with that.
It's a classic.
So you're telling me that somebody has sabotaged one of our network systems, and you think You think they're doing it multiple times?
Yeah, and I think there might be more, so I wanted to put you on alert so maybe you could reach out to our other nearby nexuses.
Nexinums? Yeah.
Yes.
That one.
We're
Yeah.
keeping it. It's canon.
Our nearby nexinums, make sure that they're prepared.
Yeah, we can start reaching out to everybody, and you know what? I'll tell you something. Longbottom's gonna be mighty relieved because they were the one that doing it before you, and they've been blaming themselves. So I'll
Oh,
go and tell
Longbottom.
them.
He's always been doing that, that poor fella. Yeah. It's nobody's fault. But I would say also be wary of bandits because it seems like, I don't think it's them necessarily. I think maybe someone up above is hiring them. So watch out for bandits. They might look unconsequential, but they might, they might have a higher calling, but not in a good way. All right, sorry, I'm mumbling.
No, that's all right. You tend to do that. So okay. Thank you for letting us know. We'll get in touch with the other patchers, and well, golly, you guys stay safe. You're heading to Dunta next, right?
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at Dundon and maybe see if we can't find the people responsible for this. Yeah.
All right. Will you stay safe now, Sprig, and tell everybody else to stay safe.
I will. Jeremiah, is there anything you want from the road?
Like a souvenir?
Yeah, I don't know.
You want some takeout?
Yeah, like I just had some really good. The people here make amazing mushroom soup. I feel like maybe I can get the recipe or something.
Yeah, actually, I was a little too shy to ask, but can you get some of them Bluefoots? They make some really good ones down there.
Oh, I'll be on the lookout for them.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Sprig. Over
right.
and out.
Over and that's what we phone girls say. Over and out.
Over and out. That's canon now. I would say it's probably approaching time for any kind of a long rest. If there's anything that you guys want to do to finish out your evenings, you guys still have, your chambers here to have a nice, safe rest before venturing out once again.
Allie,
Oh boy.
you look a little hurt.
I did take a little bit of a beating back there, no doubt.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to talk about it while I heal your wounds?
Okay. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So when I was riding that big bug, and it almost tried to throw me off, I thought I almost lost it. And, slippery fingers are the worst things you can have. So I was worried that maybe my strength and dexterity was leaving me, but I stayed on. And it's about that inner perseverance that keeps you going.
Yeah, you felt like you couldn't trust yourself and trust your body.
100%.
Absolutely. But in the end, you made it.
That's
In the
absolutely
end,
right.
you did it.
Thank you.
And it's all gonna be okay.
Thank you.
Because you are so beautiful.
Oh. Stop.
I have a prepare that I want to propose to you.
Okay.
After our experience today, I was thinking that we could work together, and I could start to teach you some of the thieves' cant that I know.
I will say you're able to teach Sprig 3 thieves' cant phrases or sentences. For those of you at home who don't know, we made a thieves' cant dictionary, so that's what I'm currently
Get it on
sorting through.
Patreon if you become.
You're feeling a little morbid, as the first one that comes through your head is, good of you to not come empty-handed, which translates to, there's a dead body I need you to dispose of. So that's one.
You need to know this.
Okay, the second phrase, whenever you are ready,
Okay, ready.
that Tykan teaches you is breathing backwards, which translates to betrayed.
Well, that could.
You think that?
That could happen. This one is, have you seen this man?
Sorry.
This man.
I'm sorry. Sorry to this man.
It translates to, are you my contact? Somebody trying to sort of introduce themselves in a way where they know they have business but haven't quite met face to face.
Oh.
Seen this man.
As you all take to your individual activities and the eyelids start to droop and get a little heavy, I'll say that's where we end our session for today. And you all leveled up.
Oh,